Hello, peeps. Welcome back to another Satisfactory live Let's Play stream. It's been a couple days since we last streamed. I think it was Friday morning, and we left off. We had just gotten some of this other stuff just set up. Like, we started making some encased industrial beams. We got a production line set up over here to make motors, all working towards our next space elevator milestone thingamajobby, if that's what it's called. Looks like we might be having some technical difficulties. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just a refresh that's needed on my page to make sure that the preview is working. So we got our steel production going. So let's take a look again to refresh our memory of where we were at with the space elevator. So we need 150 motors and 500 modular frames. We have 208. No, plus I have 25 more. How are we doing on our concrete production now? We did add a whole second constructor building more concrete. Because we're going to need a lot for the stuff we want to build. This really hasn't made a lot yet. Good thing there's a lot in here. We'll steal it from our encased industrial beams production. So I think what I want to do for a little bit here is work on extending our platform out some more. And then from there we'll figure out what we want to do. Are we going to want to continue building in preparation for some of our next milestones? Or do we start maybe looking at tearing some things down and rebuilding some of the stuff that I kind of want to move around to some different locations? Kind of thinking the best bet would be maybe not necessarily tearing down a lot of stuff. It would be more along the lines of we build some new production capabilities. So maybe we build a new reinforced, maybe we build a new iron factory over here in this area, get that all up and running, and then tear that one down on that side. I think that's probably the best thing to do, best way to do it. And we used up all of our concrete already. I'm glad that I'd switched this back around so I can actually just run back and forth now. I do like having these conveyors. Wow. Must be getting tired already. It's not a good thing since I just started the stream. But I do like having these conveyors up off of the ground like that, because then you can just walk over or walk underneath them without having to jump. This is a lot of concrete we're going through here. But I think it's going to be well worth it though. This should turn out pretty cool when we're done. Okay, we have a lot of open area here to work with. I think if we are going to go ahead and make a new iron facility, we'll have to continue filling this in over here on this side, so maybe make it right here, and then we'll have to go over and tap into those pure iron nodes over there and bring that iron over for that production. And then I think we can look at moving our space elevator. So I was thinking of putting the space elevator and the hub over in this area. One thing that I'm going to like about building the way that we're building, so I haven't built like this in any of my other worlds, is going to be the ability we can build underneath here and add kind of a basement area if we want, and run conveyor belts underneath there so they're hidden. and then you won't see all of the conveyor belt mess. So how wide is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 7 wide for our space elevator. Takes up a 7x7 space. And we're out of concrete again. We are going through a tremendous amount of concrete, but look at this this huge flat platform we have to build and make stuff on though. A few more trees we're gonna have to cut down. Just kind of leave it like that for right now. You know, we could almost get by with leaving the trees in there like that. Okay. So we have some nice flat area to get around in. Like I said, we could almost maybe get by with leaving some of these trees as long as they don't get in the way of any building that needs to happen there. But if we can maybe plan like walkways where the trees are at. Like this could be like considered a walkway path, and then we'll have some trees in our middle of our factory. Might be kind of interesting and neat. How much concrete do we have left? Mind getting one more row of foundations in here. Okay, I think we'll move our space elevator first. The cool thing with this thing is we can grab it from a ways away. Let's get rid of this junk stuff. Alright. One space elevator picked up, thrown in the suitcase basically, thrown in our backpack, and then can't afford. I was like, Trying to figure out why I couldn't afford it, because I just picked it up, but it looks like I wasn't able to pick it up completely. But where did the extra pieces go? You're supposed to get everything back when you pick up your items, but it looks like I lost at least 500 wire. And I don't know if it's because my inventory's full, but usually when your inventory's full, then it leaves a little chest. Well, that's a bummer. But I'm sure we have plenty of wire over here. How are you doing on your motors? Up to 101. This tree we'll have to cut down. And how are you doing? So we're just about halfway to what we need for our next space elevator milestone. I don't know if that's called a milestone or considered a milestone. This is probably going to take me a couple tries to get this kind of placed where we want it at. Let's put down some type of mark. Actually, yeah. So let's put down a mark. We want to come out to missing iron rods. What can we make? Can we make one of these? No, we can't. Alright, so what we can do, that's where we want to come out to. So we want to be on this, centered on this tile. There. Yeah, that'll work. So now nothing's gonna be like glitched into the dirt here, the rocks and sand. Now we can watch this thing come back down. Alright. So we have our space elevator rebuilt. And okay, it's not a milestone, it's a project assembly. So once we get this, it'll unlock our last two tiers, tier 5 and tier 6. We're getting close on our motors already, but our frames are going to take us a while. And I don't know, do not know if we can increase our production at all on our modular frames. So we're only at 250. So we need 150 and 250. Let's go take a peek at our motors here really quick. Yeah, this is already almost ready. I already almost have enough motors. Okay, I think next thing we're gonna do is let's pick up our hub actually, and let's move our hub. We don't need any of the bio. And we don't have enough inventory to store all of it. But what we can do is we can put any of our biomass type stuff into this storage. We can use up our slugs, I guess, and just use those to make some power shards. That'll free up some more inventory. Okay. I want to throw the wood in there, and let's put the plants in there for right now. Oh, can you actually? So I've always only, when I've ever moved my hub, I've always removed it, a whole piece at one time. I wonder if you can actually, it would appear that you can actually remove just the biomass burners. Now, it shows that you can, but it doesn't actually do anything. Which makes sense because to build the hub you need this item called hub parts, so. Okay, so we're gonna go put our hub over here somewhere. So we just plop it right in front of our space elevator. Get rid of the exclamation points. Dump some of this inventory into there that I don't really need to haul around. And that's right, we need to get higher up to get the stuff for that recipe. Okay. I don't know necessarily if I like that there. Maybe we Maybe we do want it off to the side. We put it off to the side, like kind of in between these trees, maybe. I think I want to move it over just a little bit. I think I like this location right here. But I didn't like it touching this tree. Having the tree there will be kind of cool. This little one needs to go, and unfortunately with the AoE of the chainsaw, that big one will probably get destroyed too. Yeah, thought so. That's a bummer. But we do have kind of have a tree. We can probably go back over just a little bit closer to the tree. I want so it's, I mean, not quite a big space between them, but not, I don't want it so close that it like looks like the spaceship is going to hit the tree, the pod, our pod. Okay, right there. We'll go right there. It's probably where I had it to begin with, but again, let's put some of the stuff back away in here that we don't need to necessarily carry on us. Get rid of the exclamation points. We can build a little small storage, personal storage spot right here. Which wouldn't be bad. We should put an equipment shop. Missing iron rods. I've kind of considered the possibility of maybe moving our coal, our power plant. Figure out where we have some rods at. Is there plates? Plates. Here's a bunch of rods. Do I still have equipment Yeah, I have an equipment station here. And a crafting table, or crafting, what is it called? Craft bench. So we need an equipment workshop. Do we want it there or over here? Okay. I think I like it there. Lined it up in the back half. I don't think we need a crafting table over here, just because we have the one in the hub. But we can do some type of small storage right here. Now, there's a trick to doing this. If I can remember how to do this. Start like that, I think. And then we take these out. These out. Learned this from Skippy, so I really could take these ones down. And now we have some stacked storage. You have to do it that way because otherwise you can't, typically you can't place the storage, like I can't place a storage container on top of here. So you put down the foundation, place it on the foundation, then you pull the foundation out from underneath it, and you get it work from the top down. So now we have some storage, a little bit of small personal storage off the back of our hub. We got our space elevator moved. Let's fill in a little bit more. Maybe over on this side where our plant is going to be. And I misplaced that one. Okay, we placed down a lot of foundation today. This was a stream of foundation placing. So we might need to, thinking I might want to move this stuff to a different, like a little bit different location. See how much coal this thing actually brings in. Oh wow. This thing's almost full. Thing is full. So we could maybe move our coal plant. How many do we have? 8 of them running? Now Meadowick, he's building in the same exact location on his YouTube series. He put his coal plants up on this ledge up here, which is actually a pretty awesome idea, pretty great idea. I'm considering moving mine up there too. Else the next best area probably be like over here, so it's kind of out of the way. That'd be the goal, is to get it built in an area so it's out of the way. Do we pick up this summer slop? Got it. The glare of the sun off of that crashed pod there makes it look like there's a glow bug there, a slug. Okay, what else can we do? I guess check on our production. So once we get a new like iron factory built up, we can take down all of this stuff here and be able to move and build a nice big copper facility right there. And I think that's enough for our space elevator. 150 of those and 500 modular frames. we have 1, we have 2, 303, well 328 counting what I have in my inventory. How are you working? You are running low on modular plates, or reinforced iron plates. Why are you? We have a belt problem here. That should help a lot. Now we're going to be producing 90, and this thing is actually going to be getting the 90. So that should increase our efficiency by quite a bit. That should actually put us, I don't think at 100%, but we won't be waiting for screws anymore. 37.5. Oh, we will be operating at 100% efficiency because the screws are the low point. We're getting more than enough iron plates here, and now we're getting more than enough screws. We're getting the 90 screws needed. So now we're going to be making 11.25 iron reinforced plates, which is a little bit lower than what we need, but not bad. Was this 11.5? This is 11.25. So this actually needs to go down like 94 probably. Get this to 11.2. Alright, maybe 90. 93 will actually make it be perfect. Well, not perfect, but we want the need to be a little bit less, equal to or a little less than the supply. And we're producing 11.25 a minute. I don't know why this hasn't reached up to 100 yet. Oh, it's climbing up. It's at 82 now. Leave those. Let's go dump off the motors. Alright, so we have all our motors in there. Now we just need the 500 modular frames, which will get us to being able to unlock tiers 5 and 6, which then that's like oil, and I don't know if we can see this stuff in the hub. I don't think you can. No, you can't yet. But it'll be all of the oil stuff, so the rubber, plastic, all of that good stuff. We'll be able to get into our smart splitters, MK4 belts, the manufacturers. So I think we have all of the options for like walls and that. There's no other choices for that. Oh, let's build a lookout tower over here somewhere for Sweet, we got a lookout tower. Get up here and kind of overlook our production. So we got some more foundations to lay down on the side, some over on that side, a little bit behind us here. Them foundries sure do smoke. They smoke as bad as the coal generators do. Oh, I didn't realize you can actually see. You see the smokestack to our coal generator up there where we get our coal from. Alright, how are we doing on frames here? 327, so well, I have 25, so we need at least another 150. Up all of our we can fix this up too now. So actually let's kind of work on that. How did we do it on this side? I believe it just came off of the one. Okay, come off of this, basically this frame right there. Frame. Off of this frame. Or I couldn't do it because the space elevator was in the way and it was basically encroaching on the space elevator. Now that we moved the space elevator, now we're missing concrete. Now, we really don't need these ones in the middle. And let's actually bring this guy. Bring that all the way back around. basically is making a square grid of power poles all the way around. Alright. Perfect. And then we got it tapped in to power our other stuff on this end, and actually this runs all the way down to power our miners on this bus line. And we're capped out on quick wire, which is fine for right now. We really don't need any. We're almost up to 400, right? 1, 2, no, 350. We have 25 in our inventory. So what else can we do? I wanna complete that space elevator project during this stream. Let's see, we can grab some more concrete and lay some more foundations. Start thinking about how we're going to lay out this factory on this end. I am thinking of trying to do some vertical builds. I saw a pretty cool setup from another YouTuber. I can't think of his name. It's like Brothgar or something like that. I think he's the one that I saw that did some pretty cool setups with his builds and building factories that were vertical. So I want to take his ideas and just kind of tweak them a little bit. I don't know if it'll necessarily be like better or anything, but it'll be different. It'll at least be different, so. Should have kept track of how many bags of concrete we went through in this stream. And we're almost out again. Alright. If there's anything worthwhile up this way, I don't think I've gone up this way and investigated any of this. Another Mercer spear. this another geyser? Almost looks like another geyser. Got some bacon. Let's grab all the bacon. Okay, is there anything else worthwhile? Some more bacon. What is that? It resembles coal, but I don't think it is. Oh, it's Sam ore. I wonder if we should we should probably get like a miner on this and get it coming over to our base, even if we just bring it over there as is and just store it in a storage container, and then we'll have a conveyor line of it coming into the base for whenever that content gets released, and we'll basically be able to start producing the stuff with it almost right away. There's a spinning guy. Oh no, we're stuck. Not good. Luckily we do have a chainsaw. Oh. That would have been a bummer. There's a spitting guy right there too. That would have been a bummer to had to have like used the respawn button and kill ourselves and respawn at the base. There's a bee plant. There's a slug. There's a couple bee plants, but there's a couple slugs. Let's heal up and let's go play some bee baseball. Make sure we got nothing else around. Looks like just the bees, so the bees knees. I got one hit in on me. 2 hits. Alright, 2 hits, but I think I got all of that batch. Woo! Can I reach him? And I can't even reach him. We can reach it now. I wonder if I can figure out a way over to that other power slug. Nope, not that way. I mean, I'm sure I could build my way over there pretty easily. Although I probably don't have enough concrete on me. Oh, check that guy out. There's a spitter guy up there. Come on, let me do it. Yeah, this one's not gonna work. We can make a quick elevator though. Or not elevator. Ladder. And just kind of looking around to see if there's anything else worth trying to get to. Pick up our stackables. Uh-oh, we're getting shot at. And we're out. We're out of here. Now I guess these guys, you are able to kill these guys. You gotta get them to, like, they can glitch into like rocks and they're trying to run away or whatever. And they get stuck and you're able to kill them, but they don't drop anything. So it's really not worth killing the poor guys. Whoa, where'd you come from? Stray bee. Just came flying out of nowhere. Smacked me upside the head. So yeah, let's get the Sam ore. That's a new thing that I haven't done yet. So we'll get down here, we'll go grab let's go make a portable miner. Make sure we have all of the stuff that we need. I think what we'll do is we'll just bring it in close to over here on this side and throw it in a Mark II storage container. I think that'll work. Okay, so Mark II storage container, we have stuff for that. We could stop probably and grab a few of these steel beams to make some more MK3 belts. So we should have enough stuff. Question will be is having enough things for belts, and maybe we just do MK2 belts with the reinforced iron. We're almost up to 400, right? 1, 2, 3, 350. Well, counting what we have in our inventory, we have 400. We just need 100 more. Maybe by the time we get done messing around with this SAM ore. What was I coming for? Reinforced plates. We have a second production of these somewhere. That's rotors. Reinforced plates. I'm all like confused and turned around here. Okay, these are reinforced plates right here too. Now the question is, do we want to try... I don't think there's any way we're gonna be able to get this on any type of grid because of how we need to get in and out of here. Somebody shooting at us? I don't know. It sounds like someone is shooting at us, but maybe not. So maybe we bring it out this way and bring it up to our bus. Which our bus is right through this way. Oh, there's some gas plants here, that's right. So that, of course, is a possibility. Or we just bring it out. We just bring it out and follow close along the edge of the walls. Raise it up and just bring it on. Right along the edge of this wall here. And basically cut across and just throw it in a storage container. Maybe don't. Maybe we circle around this. Alright, I think that's how we're gonna do it. Probably don't need to raise it up, but if we raise it up, we can at least like cut across like here without having to worry about it. And we'll actually use some of the conveyor poles instead of the stackables. We will have to get power out here. It's only a normal though. So if we throw an MK2 on it. that kicks out 120 per minute. So then if we use our MK2 belts, it'll match, everything will match. So figure out how, I think we can just, yeah, we should be able to basically just come right up here. Is this MK2? Yes, it is. All right. I did want to try one thing with this. Is I never, you know how when you're building with the conveyor poles, if you click down and hold down, then you can push up to raise it, pull down to lower it. And then you push it a second time to actually build it. Can you do that? Like when I start this, when I get it out, can I hold this down? Nope. As soon as I start it, basically stops it. So what we'll have to do is kind of raise it up right away. That looks kind of ugly, but the nice thing is now, if for whatever reason, if I needed to drive a tractor through there, I would be able to. Okay, that's not clipping anything. Again, we want to pull these tight to the wall. That is clipping the corner that just ever so slightly. So let's fix that just a little bit. We'll bring this farther out this way. Now it's not clipping. This might be a long, yeah, it's too far. That's gonna clip into trees, maybe right here. There's a mess of trees here, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Hello, Alon. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it through here without not glitching into something, and I don't think I want to cut these trees because they're all so tightly together. If I cut one, they're all going to get taken out. If I can just avoid glitching into the rock, I can handle them glitching into the tree a little bit. And that glitches into the rock just a little bit. I could use the stackables maybe here. And that would probably make it through there better, because I could raise those up higher. Otherwise, the other option would have been to go up and over this rock. What the heck? We could maybe bring this up this way. Drop it back down. Would that be a possibility? Because up here, we don't need to raise it up. We'll never get a tractor up here. We just need to make sure we're not glitching through any of the rock up here. But now the trick is going to be to get it to come back down from up here. I think getting it up here was pretty easy. Conveyor belt's too long and too steep. What do we have for options? There's too steep. this. Conveyor belt's too steep. Okay. Can make that. So then can we circle back around? To maybe over here. Still too steep. Oh, come on, let me up there. Come on. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we're going to try. There we go. That actually doesn't even look all that terrible. And now we should be able to over here. Actually, let's go. We want to go in the middle. Let's raise it up just a little bit so we can still drive underneath it if we need to. And then we will bring it right back down as quickly as we can into our storage MK2. Okay, so basically all we need to do now is get power out to that miner, and we'll be mining for some SAM ore, which doesn't have a use in the game yet, but it's still going to be cool to be collecting it. Now when it does get added to the game, we'll have a stockpile. We'll have at least one double chest, or not double chest, but one Mark II storage full of it. So we need to take our power off. Basically, we're just gonna run it over here. Floor's too steep. Tuck it along the wall. Try not to have it glitch too much into stuff. worked, but it it was seriously glitching through the ceiling there. Is that glitching in anything? No? Just a little bit of glitchy there. Now there's no glitching. And now we have Samor coming. MK2 kicking out 120 per minute. Our Mark II belts. Shuffling it on down at 120 per minute to our Mark II storage. So this is the Mark II Samor line, I guess. We have a few things we can pick back up over here. I think that's everything. Not the cleanest install. But I wonder if I can squeeze another one. I can't afford it. But it looks like I should be able to squeeze another one. It might be worth squeezing one more in there, and then we have two. Do we have 500 of these things yet? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 450. Let's grab a few encased beams. Do we have any more steel pipe, or are all of our pipe going to... It's like all of our pipe are shuffling down the line. They haven't quite filled up yet. Unless we're just producing just enough, because it looks like kind of would appear that way. We needed 18 per minute. And what are we producing? Not enough. What's this? We are only producing 15 per minute. So yeah, we're definitely running a shortage of steel pipe. I just want to grab a couple. Okay. That way when we make our Mark II storage, we have that uses the encased industrial beams and the steel pipes. Samor looks pretty cool coming off of the... Oh, and that's right, it only stacks in stacks of 50. Okay, where's the rest of it? I didn't think I connected it to power and disconnected it that long that it wouldn't already be coming down here. We didn't lose power. No? There's just no ore coming. It should have been flowing down here by now. Wonder if I accidentally picked up the wrong piece. There's no SAM ore coming. None whatsoever. Huh. I don't get it. It's got power. It's flashing yellow though. Huh. I don't get it. I don't understand why it's not working. Is there only so much ore in the node? Which wouldn't make much sense. Well, I guess that goes so much for that idea of automating or collecting some SAM ore before the update comes out. Yeah, it's not letting any more come out of here. I have room in my inventory. Weird. Well, that was a whole waste of time. Well, we'll just leave it there, I guess. Not hurting anything necessarily, just sitting there. I guess when it gets added to the game, we're already ahead of schedule with having some production lines ran, some resource lines ran. I'll have to look into that, figure out why that's. Is that a glitch or is that? It's hard to tell, hard to know if that's a bug or if that's intended behavior, because we are early access and that content hasn't been released yet. So we have 1, we have 2, 3, 4, 50, 438, 488. We need 12 more. And we'll have enough to do this project. Yeah, we need 22.32 iron rods per minute, and we're probably only putting out 15. This thing's making 30. Probably getting 30 ingots in. Yeah, because it's running at 100% efficiency. splitting it into 15 and 15. So we're getting max iron screws, but not max pipes or rods. Let's give it a little jolt in the arm. Almost what we need to do is tie into our other iron rod production over here, because this is sitting full, not doing a dang thing. So I think what I'm going to do is actually do just that, tie into it. I don't know if this is gonna work. Oh yeah. And so we need to come to, let's say, right here. I'll throw down a marker for that right there. There. Hopefully that'll reach that far. No. Okay. Well, let's add in a spot in the middle then, I guess. Hey Sin, how's it going? Okay, and how far can you actually reach? Pretty far. But I think we'll just go on this side. This side. Oh no, that's only too high. All right. Missing concrete. I've used so much concrete this. Yeah, I'm up late. I'm about ready to get ready for bed here pretty soon. I'm kind of just waiting for my modular frames to finish crafting so I can complete this project assembly for the space elevator. I almost have the entire lake covered over with foundations. I just have some more to add in on this end. I moved the space elevator tonight. I moved the hub, installed the lookout tower. I was just trying to tap into a SAM ore node over kind of in a little like cave type system over here. But all it did was mined up 87 pieces of ore, and now it just sits there and acts like there's no resource left in that node. So I don't know what's going on with that. It's like it ran out of resources. I don't know if it's intended because it's not used in the game yet, or if it's a bug. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But right now I want to get this modular frame production up a little bit, so I'm tying into my other iron rod production over there. But we kind of need to step this down now. Make that step down. Yes, I can. And then I suppose like there. And the merger. Nice 90, and that's straight in, and that connects to there. So now we're going to be putting probably 30 iron rods. Yeah, I know. I need to deconstruct and reconstruct. What I'm kind of planning on doing is over in this area over here is probably going to start my first kind of attempt at a truly like vertical attempt of a I guess factory section, and do like a nice sized iron section right here, and then once I get this one all built up, then I can tear down what I have started over here, and then I can build a copper one over on this side and tear down my original copper and just slowly start tearing this stuff apart as I replace it with something new in a different location. Okay, double check. This should be coming out at 30. So I think it's just a straight up line of rods out of oh, it might not be. It's actually two things of rods. Oh yeah, because that'd be 30. 15 and 15. Into 30, 30 going through that. 30 coming down. Yeah, that in that style. So now we're getting, this is 30, this is just 15. So we're actually putting 45 iron rods per minute into this thing. So yeah, now we're up to 100% efficiency because our iron rods are capped out now, and before they weren't. And now we're at the mercy of the reinforced plates which are coming in there. But we have our 500 modular frames. So we can go complete this space elevator, what is it? Production assembly? Project assembly. We already, it didn't take long for our motors to produce, or our assembler to produce enough motors, so now we seal it. It is sealed. And now we send it. A little bit of glitchiness going on there. and it's gone. It doesn't stay gone for very long, it comes back. And here it comes back. Alright, so let's see. We now have tier 5, which gets us to our oil. So now we can make an oil pump, an oil refinery. We can scan for crude oil. And we can make plastic, fuel, rubber, and circuit board. Or we will be able to. We can't yet. But it shouldn't take us long to unlock this milestone because we probably already have 50 motors made already. And we just increased our modular frame output. So it shouldn't take us that long to get back up to 50 of those. We have the industrial manufacturing, which unlocks our computer. The truck, which I honestly haven't built or made a truck yet. One thing I was a little disappointed, like I haven't made one or used one, but in watching people's videos, I've been a little disappointed that it has, I believe, the same size of storage as the tractor does. Where do we unlock the tractor at? Oh, they must have changed that because it used to be the same. Now the tractor says that it's got a 25 slot inventory and a craft bench. And the truck says that it's got a 48 slot inventory and the craft bench. So that's cool. That's good. I don't know if that was changed, but I swear in one of Skippy's videos he talked about the storage being the inventory being the same. We can do some more of the cadarium. I don't remember if I was saying that. Caterium. Some more of the Caterium electronics, which gets us to the smart splitter, which helps with setting up this oil. So like in my first world, I have the oil plant set up, so I have the oil pump and an oil refinery. I have 3 refineries set up, one making plastic, one making fuel, one making rubber. The fuel basically just goes into the back of a truck station to fuel the trucks. And then I have one truck that runs back and forth. At the one station it picks up plastic and rubber. And then it would, well, I don't have it set up anymore. I disassembled that portion, but I'm getting ready to set it back up again because I'm about ready to try to build a computer plant on that in that world. And then it would drop them off at another truck station, and at that truck station you run a smart splitter on the output, so you can split your cargo basically, so you can use one truck to pick up multiple things. Like I'm still using trucks on that world. I use a truck to deliver quick wire and steel poles to my stator rotor motor factory. And then we got tier 6 too, which is our expanded power infrastructure, which then we can get into fuel generators, our Mark IV conveyor belts. But in order to unlock the tier 6 stuff, you start getting into needing heavy modular frames and computers. So we're a ways away from being able to automate computers. I think you need that for all of these things. I haven't played really around with the gas masks yet. The jetpack, I've messed around with it, but honestly I kind of prefer the Blade Runners to it, but that's just kind of my personal preference right now. And it might be just because I haven't used it enough, but you run so much slower without the Blade Runners on, and I get down on the ground and you're running around on your factory or stuff, and I don't like switching back and forth either. So I guess first things we're gonna want to do probably is, I guess, probably go for our oil processing. So we'll select that milestone, and we can actually go see how we're doing on our production, see if we have enough stuff for it. I know we'll have enough wire and cable. The question will be is, do we have enough? Oh, we have just enough modular frames. I know we'll have enough motors. We have enough wire and cable. So we can unlock this milestone pretty quickly. Except for, oh, here we go. I'm gonna say except for it looks like our stator production is actually like using up all of our wire. So we need 2,500 of this stuff. Okay, and then cable 300. All right. Yeah, I'll have to make sure that I plan that out to be able to like squeeze splitters in certain spots to be able to tie into resources and stuff. So let's unlock this. Let's finish this current milestone. So with this milestone, we're getting the oil pump, the oil refinery, ability to make plastic, fuel, rubber, and circuit boards, and be able to scan for crude oil. So we have our frames, our motor, our wire, and our cable.
Milestone reached. Oil acquisition and refining unlocked. Oil-based products can now be made. Caution, this is a reminder to minimize the chance of expiration during out-of-base activities.
And he's gone. Alright, so how close do we actually have some oil? In the little bit that I've explored around here, I haven't found any oil or came across any oil yet. But I do know that where that oil is. In my other world, I've figured out. In my first world, I've figured out where to go to be able to basically access this part of the map from the other part. So let's take a look again at what our next milestone would be. Will be the industrial manufacturing. And actually, we can do this caterium, caterium. We could do this caterium electronics milestone pretty quickly because we already have caterium, and we have over 1,000 quick wire already. We have more than enough cable. I'm sure we have enough modular frames by now, and we have enough rotors. So that would give us the smart splitter, which would be kind of nice to have. It'll be a little bit before we can unlock this one, just because our modular frames will take a little bit to get back up to 50. Because I guess it doesn't really matter which one we unlock. We can't do anything until the pod returns anyway. But I think I'm actually going to, well, I'm going to end the stream like pretty quickly here in the next few minutes. But I think what I want to do is I'm going to eventually make a tour video of my first world, because I'm still actively playing that world, and I think it'd be just fun to make a video of it. Kind of, I think once I get like the computers automated. I just finished automating heavy modular frames. Some of the factories I kind of want to paint up a little bit differently. They're mostly, I've modified the default presets, so everything's kind of a flat color, except for my concrete factory is the only one that's been painted. But actually, I think what I want to do is actually jump over to that world really quick and just kind of show off kind of that world. That world's fun because I've unlocked everything, so my player's pretty much maxed out, got all the inventory slots, has access to all the materials basically. So I'm going to go ahead and save this game, and then I'm going to load this one. So just as a little bonus coverage, we'll jump into my first world that I've started out in. In this world, I have this world I have 137 hours played. So we are in my Caterium planet, my Caterium factory, and I built this just off of the edge of by the waterfalls. The ore node is up there, and I built this ramp down, brought the resources down. I used the what are these, the walkway ramps, to basically make a ramp up here. You know, there's I want to make a point, is I don't think there's much for like things respawning in these worlds. I think they're fairly static. At least that was what I kind of got the impression of, and kind of was read and told. But this tree right here, I've cut this tree down 3 times now. Every time I come back, it's grown back. It's come back, because I don't like that it comes right into my walkway here. But we have our little bridge. We have our miner. I think this is a Mark II. No, just a Mark I. I think I'm going to upgrade that to a Mark II, and then split this line somewhere and then bring this up and make a second factory up there somewhere, and then use that to build to go over to the computers. This was one of the first spots that I kind of experimented with putting down this walkway. It was kind of a pain to put down. So in here I have two smelter lines going into two constructor lines, and we're just producing a mass amount of cadmium, some quick wire, and then I have basically it's mirrored and both sides come back out and merge back in and run into our truck station, and then the truck station is set up to deliver the quick wire over to another factory. So in this world I have everything is split apart into separate factories. I put these support columns down as far as I could reach. Use some of the door openings. That actually does not have even an opening in it. That is just totally missing a wall. I use these door openings basically as windows. Just give it windows through a little crafting bench up here. I have the windows all the way around. So this was one of my first real factories that I built. My oil and stuff is way out that way. You can see on my compass it says pure crude oil. I'm not gonna run out there. I have a oil factory. All my power is generated over there. Here's where my space elevator is at. I like this location because of the scenery with the waterfalls. So I built the platform here, put the railings up. I can see all the waterfalls around me. Did the storage trick here. Got my hub. Got the equipment workshop, craft bench, the lookout tower, truck. It's a little hard to get around here because of where I have this power. This is just some stuff that I was just kind of playing around with. Taking a look at what I need to make the quick wire computer. So I have this just sitting down so I can look at it. Same with this. I just unlocked this alternate recipe, the iron wire. And then this was a configuration that I was kind of playing with to try to make the splitting of your inputs be a little bit more pleasing to the eye, so to speak. And I'll show the reason why I experimented with this. So all this is just basically in one of the other factories I did end up utilizing this layout, but I basically took the half foundations and placed another half foundation on top of it, and then you put the assemblers basically up on a pedestal. So then the difference between your two inputs is split. So you have one is lower that raises up and one that's higher that comes down. And then this is my storage facility. I don't have all of the lines hooked up to things yet. I have everything basically designated as to what's being stored in here. I don't have it's not big enough to store everything that can be crafted. It's only big enough to store majority of the stuff. And this actually is got computers in it when it's supposed to have supercomputers. I put the little conveyor belt off the end so you can see what's inside each storage. I have started, this is Dewan. Dewan popped into my world one time and he's never left since then. So I basically ran him over a bunch of times with the tractor and got him over by the workbench so he looks like he's working. I have tied in some of the factories into here, so the modular frames is one of them, so you can see some modular frames slowly coming in. They come in from my factory over there. But this took me a while to figure out this, the way this is set up. Let me jump up on top. This is kind of my walkway to go from one end of my world to the other end of the world. So, these are some launching pads for if I have the jetpack on. You can jump on that and jump on, and I can basically fly across the world. But so it's mirrored on both sides. We got, what did I, 12? Yeah, 12 inputs on both sides for 24 total storages for 24 items. I don't have anything connected on this side yet. I just have the bus lines ran on both sides. But it took me a while to get this all laid out and nice and symmetrical and looking, in my opinion, pretty cool. But if you see, this side is, the only difference is where this one comes in a little bit closer because of how the cliff is here, so I had to kind of bring it in and then push it out in order to make the turns. Let's go all the way to the end. So you can see everything is kind of separate modular factory buildings, and I have some lines ran around here and there. There's a couple factories over there. I do like how this little section turned out up here. So I tapped into the coal node that's up here on top of this little plateau thingy in order to be able to feed this encased industrial beam factory here. But I made this little spiral. You know what? I didn't make a way to get into it at all. Should put a door on that. Alright. So, it's just a spiral elevator to bring the coal down. And the coal basically comes out and it spirals all the way down. And it's really cool because it's just a 1x1 tower. I think it looks really cool. And this is the only place that I've really made any use of the little jelly landing pad and I have added one more jump pad in one of the other factories. And this is my encased industrial beam factory. So this was one spot that made me try to figure out a better way of doing the inputs, because really didn't like how this kind of turned out. Because they're not straight. But what this does, turn this down just a little bit. It seems a little loud, and it might only be loud in my headphones, but what this is set up to do is to provide 100% efficiency for the inputs needed for these foundries. So if we look at these foundries, they're operating at it exactly 100% because they are getting 45 coal in and 45 iron in exactly. And the way that you do that is this is set to come in at 180, I believe it is, and then it's split into two runs, 90 and 90, and then those two runs are split into two runs of 45 and 45. And then you do the same with the iron, where the iron comes in and then it's split twice, and then each one of those is split twice to evenly distribute it. There's another way of doing it with what's kind of like a manifold system, where you have the one input in, and then you would put a splitter like right there and split into that, and then the line would continue on, and you would put another splitter, split into this one, the line would continue, another splitter and another splitter for 4 splitters down a single line. But what that would do is eventually everything will fill up and back up, and you'll be getting, basically then it'll be getting 100%. But what it essentially ends up doing is you start out with 180. This 180 comes down and it would get split. Your first machine would actually be getting 90 ore per minute, and then your next ones would be getting, then 90 would be continuing. Your second machine would get 45, and then another 45 would come down. Your third machine would get 22.5, and your last machine would get 22.5 because of the way the splitters work. So I did it advertising his game channel. Oh well, I can't read it, so so I started setting up my factories this way to basically optimize the input of the resources. So this factory here basically just is set up just to produce encased industrial beams. So the coal comes from up there, the iron comes from here, and the limestone for the concrete comes from here. So this comes in and splits into 2 constructors, merges back into one line for the concrete, and then this produces our encased industrial beams. And we're making 10 per minute. I do have this thing overclocked to max it out, but it's operating at 100% efficiency. So we're getting 40 steel per minute, 50 concrete per minute, and then it goes into storage, and then I tied into the storage and ran a line down to my newest factory over here that I just finished building yesterday. And this is my heavy modular frame factory. And then this is, you can see where I utilized that other design that I was working on down by my storage, where I have my foundries, and this one's utilizing foundries because I'm utilizing the alternate recipe to do 1 iron ore and 1 copper ore to make 3 ingots. So we have copper coming in, and because of the way that I have this laid out, the spacing wise, I kind of had to get a little bit creative with how I ran this stuff. So comes out of the one node, it splits, one comes down, and then this splits into these first 2. This one comes down, does a little snake turn to create enough space for me to add in the splitters for the iron. But then basically it's the same thing like up at that other factory, only much cleaner, because in my opinion it's much cleaner. This one I'm pretty happy with how this factory has turned out. It's not 100% efficient yet. I need to do a little bit of tweaking. But this one I have, and I've cut down that tree before and it's grown back. I've moved stuff around, so this is our foundries that come in. They go back down, they get merged into one line, go back down, then split back out into 4 constructors. 4 constructors are making the iron plates. 2 of them get merged into 1 assembler, and the other 2 get merged into another assembler. Those are also fed from the screws from those 2 constructors, and those come down and get split, and these are producing 9 reinforced iron plates per minute. Those come down. Eventually this will back up because we're overproducing. Not at this point we're not overproducing, but we're overproducing our modular frames, which then this will basically shut down, which will start backing up all of our other resources. So this is making 9. I have storage buffers built in the lines, so as this thing backs up, these things will fill up. And then this is making our heavy modular frames, and I have it maxed out at the concrete, but because our concrete is coming in at 20. Is it our concrete that it's maxed out at? No, it's maxed out at our encased industrial beams, because those are being produced at 10. And this is the only part of it that I don't necessarily care for too much, is this little S-curve thingy to get into the storage. But I wanted to pull the storage over to kind of be more in line with the manufacturer machine to open this area up. And so far we've created this many heavy modular frames. And I just threw in a craft bench and a workshop, equipment workshop. Don't know necessarily about this setup, but it's kind of fun to get up here and look into the manufacturer. But I don't have, I tried different ways of making this look supported, but I wasn't able to do it. So I might tear this back down, but it is kind of cool to get up here and peek inside of there. Let's get over here. This is just a simple concrete concrete building that's producing the concrete for our heavy modular frames. I was trying something a little bit different here, and I've reversed the top layer of wall just to add some little bit different texture into it. I did the same on this one, and I want to get up here and paint some of the stuff, but I haven't done that yet. This is our motor factory. So this is using a smart splitter. The trucks deliver the steel pipe and the quick wire. The quick wire comes through and the pipes come through, and the pipes are split to go out to the other factory up there and then into here to make our stators. There's a storage buffer for the stators. Our rotors are made over here. Storage buffer for the rotors, and then they go into our motor factory. And our motor factory, I believe, is almost full. This is all that's left. I was planning on working on trying to tie this into the line here to get all of that back down to the storage, but I don't know yet. This is another modular frame factory. So this is one of my two factories that has some verticalness to it. So I have the iron plate, the reinforced iron plates being produced down on the ground level. The plates come from our iron factory right next door, and the wire comes from the copper factory, which is up on top of the hill. These go into the storage circles around, and then the storage comes out and then circles back around, comes back up into here, into this assembler, which is making the modular frames, and then that comes into the storage. And there's nothing in the storage because this actually gets sent all the way down to our storage building through that line right there. We looked at that. This, like I said, this is my iron factory. I like how nice and open it is. This side's producing our plates, and this side is producing our rods and screws. Nothing super really fancy here. I did some little bit different stuff on the corners just to break up the squareness of some of the factories. This is my copper factory, and this is the other one that I have vertical build to it. So on the ground level, we're making the wire, and so the copper comes out of the node up there, gets split into a splitter. Half goes down to the ground level, the other half goes to the upper level. Comes in, gets split into, or goes into the smelter, gets split into two constructors. These two constructors circle around to two other constructors to get made into cable, and the cable gets pushed over into the storage, and this is all full. And then these storage boxes were just extra cable that I had produced from my first starting factory locations. So they're just here sitting full till I figure out a use for them. This is just a extra concrete factory kind of production facility. It's all full. That way I know I have enough concrete for any big projects. This is my steel factory, and I'm not overly happy with this factory. It's way too tight inside. You'll see once we get inside there, I packed way too much into it. I should have built out the walls a little bit farther, but really I can't because this wall butts right up to the gas area. So this door, you access the storage for all of the different, mostly on this side it's all steel pipes. So we have the steel pipes being produced on this side. You can see like I can't get through very easily. And then, so I have to kind of jump through. Down here is getting the steel plates. And then this was the mess of how all of the resources get input into the... And I didn't really like how this looked, so this led me to working out that other setup. Alright, Sin. Thanks for stopping by. I think I only have 2 buildings left to peek at. This one is my concrete building, and I've moved a couple things around, and as I've done that, the painting hasn't been staying on it anymore, but this is one of the buildings that I actually painted. I like how this building turned out, because I actually added some things in there. So there's like this little room off to the side that's got a workshop and a craft bench just to like filler. I used the walkways to be able to kind of get around from side to side. We have 3 constructors. The reason I went with 3 is because that worked out good for number wise. The node comes in, gets split into 3. These 3 constructors get merged into 1 line and then split into 2 lines. This one is just bulk storage, and then this one goes back to the steel factory to make encased industrial beams. And that is pretty much everything, except for one last thing is up here. I had a bunch of extra items left over from my starting factories, and I tore everything down, and I had a bunch of storage just lined up over out in the open. So I came up here in this area and built kind of basically a bulk storage room. So this is all of the stuff that I had basically saved up that had been manufactured. It's mostly full. So I've been trying to use some of it, but it's, like I said, it's mostly full. So it's just another additional, basically bulk storage facility. In here, there's actually 2 Mark II storages per item. And yeah, that's pretty much tour of my first world. I just realized there is not, I don't see a ladder for the on the manufacturer. There's not a ladder to climb up on it. Huh. I never realized that before. I like the way that worked out. That design worked out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how that inputs the resources into those assemblers. And then it worked out the same basically for the foundries too. So eventually I might have to redo my steel factory just to make that look better. But I'm going to end this stream here. So thanks everybody for stopping by and watching. Hit the like button if you liked what you saw, and subscribe if you want to see more content. So whoever watches this did get a little sneak preview of my first world, and I do plan on doing a, like I said, I do plan on doing a tour video probably after I get the computer factory part made up. Right now I'm thinking that's going to go up over in that flat area right in there. There's a bunch of iron over past these cliffs and the next set of cliffs over there that I could use, and it's not too far of a shot to bring the caterium, and then I'd have to start a new truck route to go back over and pick up the items that I'll need from the oil fields. Let's see, I'm pretty sure I did everything. So we have the steel, copper, iron, concrete, reinforced plates and modular frames, motors, encased beams. Encased beams are be somewhere up in that area. Heavy modular frames. Coal. I guess coal is down there, but there's really nothing there. I think there's just a miner there and a miner and a splitter. So again, thanks everybody, and I will talk to everybody later. See ya.